Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, let's chant a little bit here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha, Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha, Krishna Krishna, Gora 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 Gora, Nityananda Nitai, Nityananda Nityananda, Gora Chandra, Nityananda Nityananda, Gora Chandra, Nityananda Nityananda, Gaurachandra, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, let's chant. Japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Hari Ram, 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 Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Rama, Rama, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Hari Ram, Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Rama, Rama, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Rama, Rama, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, 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 Hari Hari. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Sri Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Okay, so reading from Bhakti Ratnakara. Chapter 7, Bhakti Ratnakara. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the friend of the poor. All glories to Sri Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the friend of the poor. All glories to Nityananda, the ocean of mercy. All glories to Sri Advaita, the abode of all good qualities. Glory to Sri Pandit Gadadhar, the embodiment of love. Glory to Sri Pandit Srinivas, the distributor of that love. And glory to Vakreshwar and Sri Murari and Haridas. And glory to Sarvabhauma, Kashi Mishra, and Ramananda Roy. Glory to Vasudev Ghosh and Madhava and Mukunda. Glory to Dhananjaya, Sri Swarab Damanar, Narahari, Glory Das, and Kashishmar. Glory to Gadadhar Das, Sri Ram. Glory to Raghunath Das, who is the life of the poor. Glory to Bhugarbha and Lokanath and Sri Raghava. And glory to Raghunath Bhatta and Acharya Yadava. Glory to Sri Jiva, the abode of all desirable attributes. And glory to Kashi Raj and Krishna Das, the kind-hearted. Glory to Srinivas Acharya Thakur, and glory to Narottam, whose grace was boundless. Glory to Shamananda. Glory to Shamananda. Glory to Shamananda. Whose former name was Duki Krishnadas. who had a magnificent character, and glory to all the Vaishnavas, the abodes of kindness, by whose favor all desires are fulfilled. Glory to the listeners, for they are the abode of all good qualities. Now please listen attentively to my narration. Speaking the name of Sri Gauranga, Srinivas traveled towards Gaudadesh with the books. With him was Nartam, who was not different from Srinivas in every way, and also his most beloved Shamananda. With Nartam, Shamananda and Srinivas traveled happily without any trouble. From time to time he met groups of pilgrims going to Nilachal and traveled with them through the forest. Srinivas followed the same route that Sri Chaitanya had traveled on his way to Nilachal. Srinivas requested various pilgrims to point out the places where Chaitanya and his companions had stayed. And then he personally visited each of those places. It was a pleasure to travel through the forest, and they experienced no trouble whatsoever. To prevent this book from becoming too voluminous, we will not describe the various countries and villages through which Srinivas passed. Soon news spread that a rich man was going to Nilachal with immense wealth. A band of robbers maintained by King Hamvira came to know from an astrologer that the carts were filled with priceless jewels. That's the cart of books. They were bringing books from Vrindavan to West Bengal to use them to preach. They informed the king that a rich man was carrying priceless jewels on his cart. The king was quite happy to receive the news from his band of robbers. The activities of that king shall now be narrated in brief. Veera Himvira and his thieves were a source of constant threat to people of Vishnupura. His various misdeeds were countless, as we have learned from other professional storytellers. King Hamvira ordered his indomitable robbers to prepare themselves, attack the cart, and bring the money to the palace secretly. Threaten them, but do not kill anyone, ordered the king. On the order of the king, the robbers left in a large group, which roused fear in the hearts of the innocent people of Vishnupura. Just like the king, his band of robbers enjoyed dakotri immensely. Far outside Vana Vishnupura, they spotted Srinivas and followed him at a distance. Srinivas decided to enter Vishnupura via Panchakuti. Srinivas was pleased that he had reached his own country without any trouble. He had no idea that the king of Vishnupura was a wicked person. He stopped in a large village in the forest near the capital, which was known as Vana Vishnupura. They prepared and ate their meals during the daytime and spent half the night singing the names of Sri Krishna. When they lay down that night, they all fell into a deep sleep. The honest villagers wondered if Krishna would save these rich people. They are sleeping without anxiety, but out of fear of the king, we cannot warn them. Our king is a wicked man who sends his band of robbers near and far for a little money. Said the villagers. They wondered how this rich man had safely traveled so far with a cartload of wealth. Someone suggested, this rich man is a pious person, and for that reason the robbers would not touch him. Someone countered, no, the robbers are certainly following them. Who knows when they will strike? Uh, the village people spoke quietly and stayed in their houses. Meanwhile, the robbers were actively designing a plan to steal the cart. One thief said, dear robbers, we had better design a good plan and act accordingly. If we fail this mission, we will be ridiculed in the society of thieves. They decided to strike near Tamaragaram, but their first attempt failed. They tried again one night near Raghunath Pura, but their courage failed. When Srivas was near Vishnupura, the thieves felt enough courage to carry out their plans because it was so close to their home. One of the thieves said, if we steal these carts today and deliver them to the king, he will be pleased. Otherwise, he will kill us all. They joined together to worship goddess Chandi by offering her goats, sheep, and buffaloes. Bowing at her feet, they prayed, please grant us success and save us. Then they sent out a scout to determine the whereabouts of the security of Srinivas's camp. The scout found them all sleeping and informed the others that this would be the most appropriate time to strike. The robbers then came disguised and easily took the carts and went deep into the forest. At the end of the night, they reached Vana Vishnupura and narrated their story to the king. And they handed him the great wealth. As news of the robbery spread, the wise inhabitants of Vishnupura lamented and discussed the incident among themselves. Our wicked king has committed a great sin, said one man privately to another. This traveler was going to Kshetra to visit Lord Jagannath with his wealth from Vrindavan. The wicked king has given trouble to a pious man, and therefore the king will be punished. Another person sobbed in anticipation of the forthcoming misfortune of the entire Vane Vishnupura. In the land of Bart, there is no king as wicked as this one. Who will punish this sinner? Another man said, because of bad habits, the king will certainly suffer in hell and will never be saved. Everything about this man is bad. I wonder who can save him. Only Lord Narayan can bring good to such a person. Just see how he favored the entire Kali Yuga, which is beyond anyone's power of description. Although Jaga and Mana were born in a Brahmin family of Navadvip, their activities were notorious. In his Nadia Leela, Lord Narayan delivered these two notorious brothers. Both men and demigods praise Gauranga for delivering these two brothers. Jagai and Madai turned into great devotees. Who can describe the Lord's transcendental activities? Lord Krishna Chaitanya is God himself. And he has given the living beings the jewel that is sought even by Brahma. But Lord Gauranga disappeared in Nilachal. Now who will deliver this wicked king? Someone said, listen, brothers, this wicked king will be delivered by a true devotee of the Lord himself. But another man replied, no, it is utterly impossible to get darshan of such a devotee here. Why should a person come to this land of sinners? A scholar answered, the scriptures say that the true devotee is always prepared to travel through the lands of the pious and the impious. And by his magnanimity, he delivers mankind from damnation. The Lord accomplishes his will through his devotees. Not a single desire can be fulfilled without the mercy of such a true devotee. I hope some true devotee appears in Vishnupura, said one wishful man. By his grace alone will all wicked ways of the king be changed. When Himvira becomes a Vaishnava, sorrow will be removed from this place. The pious people prayed to the Lord to destroy the king's wickedness. While honest people were praying for the king's reformation, the king himself was happily receiving the stolen goods. I love this story. It's so good. It's an amazing story. Praising the robbers for their bold achievement, the king gladly rewarded them with clothes and jewels. King Hamvira thought the carts belonged to Western India. On many occasions I have obtained great wealth, but never before have I felt so satisfied about it. Certainly these carts must be filled with priceless jewels. He looked greedily at the crates and tore them open with his own hands. Therein he found the priceless jewel-like books of Vrindavan Goswamis. That's how valuable they are. The sight of the books struck the mind of the king with wonder. As he stared at them unflinchingly, his heart began to change. In amazement, the king called the astrologer and asked, how did you calculate the arrival of this cart? The astrologer replied, my dear king, in my calculations I found that the carts would contain priceless jewels. Do not be afraid, said the king. Your calculations are correct. They are not false. There is no doubt that these books are like jewels in all respects. The receipt of such books is certainly my good fortune. Then he turned to the robbers. The king anxiously demanded, "Did you kill anyone? Tell the truth." "They were all sleeping, and none of them knew we stole the carts," said the robbers in self-defense. "You ordered us not to kill, and in fact, we had no need to kill, for we stole the carts without anyone knowing." The king was relieved when he heard that, and he turned to his brahmanas. "All of my misdeeds are about to go on trial. I have given sorrow to some great man, and I shall certainly be burnt in the fire of his anger. And if I get the opportunity to meet the man who possessed these books, I shall take refuge at his feet." "Although I am a sinner, I am sure he will forgive me." The king dispatched several men in search of the pious man traveling with the cart, and meanwhile protected the carts and the books with great care. When the queen heard about the books, she was extremely anxious to see them. The presence of the books within the palace added a kind of brilliance to the environment. Bright and happy days dawned over Vishnupura, and a positive transformation came in the hearts of the evil-minded people. King Hamvira longed for the day when he would meet the man who owned the books. While the king was once thinking about the books, the goddess of sleep descended on his eyes. In his dream, the king saw a beautiful man with a golden complexion. and magnificent features, with a smile on his moon-like face. The man told the king not to worry, for his desires would soon be fulfilled. "The Lord will be pleased with you because you are his dedicated servant, life after life," said the man in his dream. The dream vanished and the man disappeared. When the king's sleep was broken, he began to cry. He shouted over and over, "What have I seen?" And he looked around him. No one could understand his behavior. The lamentation of Srinivas. After the robbers had carried away the books, Srinivas's sleep was suddenly broken. At dawn, Srinivas and the others searched here and there for the books. Failing to find the carts, they cried as though they had been struck down. Narottam decided to commit suicide, and Shamananda declared he would enter into a blazing fire. How can I describe the pain of Srinivas? The other men traveling in the party decided they would never return to their homes again. News of the robbery was circulated everywhere. Srinivas and the others were plunged in an ocean of grief. When they recovered from the initial shock, they began to discuss what to do. Suddenly, a certain voice told Srinivas that he would find the books in the palace of the king of Vishnupura. He should go at once and meet him. Srinivas felt joyful, and he simultaneously noticed auspicious signs around him. Realizing that these signs had come from Prabhu himself, Srinivas sent Narottam to Sheturi in obedience to the orders of Prabhu Lokanath, and he sent Shamananda to Uttakala via Ambika. "If the books are found, I shall inform you, and we will meet again. Do not be worried, instructed Srinivas. Srinivas bid farewell to his two friends, but who can describe their anxiety upon parting? On the order of Srinivas, they went to Sheturi with anxious minds. Who can understand the activities of Narottam? His first mission was to infuse spiritual strength in Sri Santosh. On meeting Narottam, the people of Sheturi gave up their grief and misery. Srinivas visits the king's palace. Arrangements were made for Narottam and Shamananda to live in a solitary place. When the wise men of Sheturi heard about the theft of the books, they all became very sorry. After bidding farewell to his two close friends, Srinivas felt morose. Leaving his traveling companions in one place, Srinivas traveled alone to Vanavishnupura. Who can understand the heart of the Mahant who traveled alone in search of the books? People who saw him wondered why such a beautiful person had come to Vishnupura. Is he a demigod or an incarnation of the Supreme Lord? Everyone is moved by his physical charm. With a sense of excitement, people came forward to meet Srinivas. Sri Krishna Vallabha, the son of a Brahmin, felt feelings of divine love when he saw Srinivas. He took Srinivas to his own home in the village of Duli and dedicated himself at the feet of the Acharya. The Acharya asked many questions, and Krishna Vallabha answered them all as well as he could. When he learned that the king regularly listened to the recitation of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Acharya and Krishna Vallabha went to the royal court. When the king saw Srinivas Acharya, he spontaneously rose from his seat and touched the ground before Srinivas's feet. Considering himself a fortunate man, the king ordered offered Acharya Thakur a magnificent seat, but Srinivas told the king not to ask him questions. Srinivas said, "O king, when the Bhagavat recitation is complete, you may ask me any questions and I will answer them." We should do as you desire, said the king, as he thought secretly that the man must be the owner of the books. It is my good fortune that he has visited me, so I shall dedicate myself at his feet. The king contemplated his position and stared at Srinivas Acharya. His heart had been purified simply by seeing Srinivas, and he wished to learn the correct commentary of Srimad Bhagavat. "Respected sir, I wish to hear the explanation from you," said the king. Srinivas at once understood that the evil desires of the king had been purged. "Which portion of Bhagavat do you want to hear?" asked Srinivas. "Please recite the portion of Brahmara Gita," replied the king. Srinivas was pleased with the king's suggestion, and one of the king's readers brought the book to Srinivas. Srinivas Acharya recited very carefully and diligently and revealed the true mystery of the Bhagavat. Tears rolled down the cheeks of each person who heard the recitation. And the king himself became overwhelmed. The king's Pandit Sridas Chakravarti also became emotional as he listened. Those who heard the recitation shared their loving emotions with each other. Srinivas himself became lost in trance. King Hamvira fell at the feet of Srinivas. Although the recitation had been completed, the king could not check his emotions. When he regained his composure, the king thought, I have committed a great sin against this man. In humility, he cried again and again and grew impatient. King Hamvira arranged a solitary place for Srinivasacharya to stay, and he met him in the evening. Yeah, so oh, this story is fantastic. It's just full of. Let's go over some of these interesting points here. Yeah. So when he learned the king regularly listened to the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Acharya and Krishna Vallabha went to the royal court. When the king saw Sri Acharya, he spontaneously rose from his seat and touched the ground before the Acharya's feet. So Srinivasacharya knew that, most people don't have devotion. See, so they don't understand the great mysteries of Srimad Bhagavatam. Isn't that the same thing we have here? What do we got here? Yeah, I'll read your thing in a second here. Yeah. So he knew, and just like anybody who is Bhagavad Gita 10:10, like Amy says, to those who worship Krishna with pure loving ecstasy, to them they have the right understanding. They know the real Bhagavad. They understand the real Bhagavad, and they have real transcendental knowledge. That's Guru. You should be listening to that person. I mean, so it's a wonder to me. It's like, why don't people understand that? But it shows you how contaminated this world is and how contaminating it is to listen to those who are not Bhagavad Gita 10:10, because there's going to be more or less poison coming through their discourse because they haven't realized they're not devotee Bhagavats. So that's all of Vaishnavism now. So Srinivas knew the king was regularly listening. His heart wasn't purified before, listening, because these people were not pure devotees. They were not worshiping the Lord like Srinivas. So very smart. Let's go to the court and check the king out. So he's checking the king out. See? Checking the king out. And he says, okay, you can ask me questions after the recitation of the Bhagavatam. See? And he asks, the king contemplated the position and stared at Srinivas. His heart had been purified simply by seeing Srinivas, and he wished to learn the correct commentary of the Bhagavad. See, that's a person, this is real bhakti, is you submissively hear from a real devotee inspired and empowered by Krishna, truly. See, this is the thing. Most people can't do that. See, they can't do that. Those who have been around a while, they believe they know all about Bhagavad, especially when they study some classes. It's all false ego. They're not purified, and therefore there's no room for the real Bhagavad. That's why Bhakti Vinod said in Sri Krishna Samhita that generally, the Acharya, and even now, it's always like that actually, the Acharya, they ascertain, See, that's a Bhagavad Gita 10:10 person, the real guru, if they're doing that job. The Acharya ascertains the real purport and the confidential message of the Bhagavatam, and they keep it for themselves. Or they'll give it to their intimate disciples. See, so Srinivas is checking the king out to see if there's a change. See? So the king contemplated the position and stared at Srinivas. His heart had been purified, and he wished to learn the correct commentary from Bhagavat. See, he had faith. See, he actually, even before this, he said, if I find the owner of these books, I'm going to take refuge in him. He was already a devotee of Srinivas. This is, and in the dream it said, sometimes, this is like Hiranyakashipu was Jaya and Vijay. Hiranyakashipu and, the other guy, his brother, they were Jaya and Vijay. See, and I think Kamsa was even one of these guys. Kamsa and Shishupal was the same guys, took another birth as demons. Sometimes like that, well, it's always like that actually, because everybody originally were pure devotees, and then we drop down by bad association with the modes of nature because we're very small, size of an atom, and by bad association, our consciousness got lower and lower and lower, from the mode of, from liberation actually. And down to more darkness of the mode of goodness, and more darkness the mode of passion, covered over by the passionate modes, and then ignorance. Right? So up and down, we go. Yeah. So that represents, our original position. So we're playing all these parts now, and lucky if you're in the Leela of the Lord, if you're pulled into it. Because then you get purified really quick. Yeah. See, so he wished to hear the correct commentary. See, so he was also an example of the chapter on that Krishna said to Arjuna. I forgot exactly the chapter there. It was 4 and 9. Because you are my disciple, and my friend, you are qualified to understand the transcendental mystery of Bhagavad Gita, of devotion, all these things. See, so the King Havira was already like that. He was already ready to take refuge in Srinivas. He was already a devotee. Isn't it amazing how it's always like this? You see, it's the formula that works. That's why I'm just preaching. You see, over and over again, if you don't fit this formula, if your heart doesn't change, that's why I'm preaching this all the time. You could be a demigod or a demon, but if your heart changes in the association of real Vaishnavas, like are empowered by the transcendental potency, you become qualified to understand the science. So that's why in Brihat Bhagavatamrita, written by Sanatana Goswami, said, in the spiritual world, demons and demigods are found there. Because a demon could be like this Hamvira, King Hamvira. He's like a demon, a dacoit. But his heart changed. And therefore he could enter the kingdom of God. If you become a real, sincere follower of an empowered personality like Srinivas, you're going to the kingdom of God. Easy peasy, no problem. But if you're a demigod type and you got a big false ego, you're not, you don't feel yourself poor, you think you're rich because you've got name and fame and people, oh, Gurudev, oh, Acharya Devs, oh, Radhanans, oh, Narayan Raj, and you think, See, King Hamvira was in a better position because his heart changed. And he was thinking he was poor. I'm actually a poor person. Let me go to a rich man. See, this is in the world, everybody is poor. Everybody. Charya Dev is poor. Without this bhakti, you're poor, man. You see the essence of the story? This is why this heart here which is this Krishna. This touches Krishna's heart. See? This is the jewels, man. This is the treasure. This is the real wealth. These stories about the real truth. See? Srinivas and these devotees were the shelter of the poor. Remember the poor? Everybody is poor. Radhanath is poor. I mean, I'm just telling you all the truth because, my friends are here. Some of you are not. You go, yeah. Okay, no problem. You get purified too. I don't care. I just love the truth now, and I have my orders. I got my orders. Yeah. So these devotees, they're the shelter of those who admit that they're poor. See? And they enter the kingdom of God first. That's what Jesus taught, man. Remember the Pharisee story? Jesus healed the guy at the well. He couldn't get in the well even. He was so poor, so weak, so crippled, and he admitted it. And Jesus said, well, do you believe I'm the Savior? He said, yes, Lord, man. I'm desperate. I'm poor. You're a rich person, man. You're rich in devotion and truth, And the Pharisees, they were the cripple ones. See, they were cripple-minded. They thought they were rich. They thought they had name and fame. People believed in them, gave them respect, listened to them, gave them monies and all that stuff, and they were, like that. But that poor person got healed and entered the kingdom of God before those Pharisees. Same story over and over again. That's why you see if you persons coming here and you're agreeing, you believe in this word, Gohari speaking, right? You believe in this word. You believe this is coming from the higher source, right? And you receive it. And look, you have the miracles. Look at the change of heart. This, you get in touch with the real potency that the Lord gives you, his most treasured potency, devotion, the ability to relish transcendental mellows. Because he's really working here. He's not working there. That's the Maya. It's only appearance. It only appears. Oh, God must be there, right? Because look how many degrees Acharya Dev has, right? Look, must be a pure devotee. Look, everybody believes, and they're all going, so many, Guru Dev, right? Oh, you're so great. See? But they don't have the treasure of the real confidential mystery of Bhagavatam. So the king says, he had faith in a real devotee, even before he appeared. And he had faith. I want to hear the real. Listen, I've been listening to these Acharya Devs, these persons. But from you, I'm going to get the real purport. So I want to hear the real purport. See? And how do you know it was the real purport? Because they all cried. See? They had faith in Srinivas. Their hearts changed. They could cry for Krishna. See? They had faith in the words of a real devotee. Do you think these people will listen? Do you think Acharya Dev? No, he thinks he knows so much, right? He don't know these intimate mysteries, but many of you do here. Now I'll get to your comment. That's how you attain Krishna, when you cry because of faith in Krishna's word, in Krishna's name, in Krishna's devotee. See, in Krishna's word, God's word coming through a real devotee. See? And then it causes tears to appear. And that's how you're saved. Remember, Lord Chaitanya said to the animals, chant Hare Krishna and cry. And in this way you'll attain freedom from birth and death. It's that simple, man. That's our method here. The same method. It's always the same method. Those who have faith in this preaching, that's the treasure, because it's it's the essence of the truth, man. And this is the formula that works. Like Amy was telling me, she said, "Yeah, you know the formula, and it works. It's a science. See, the science of self-realization. We got it. We have the prototype, and it works. It's the same formula. It works again and again and again. And whatever yuga we're in, when deliverance is here, you hear the confidential mysteries of bhakti, and that delivers you. Remember, even Jesus, there's some gospels, I think it's Gospel of James or something, where it's more esoteric, even the Gospel of Mary Magdalene or something, where it's more esoteric. They don't give you the esoteric. The book of John is the most esoteric. The others are more historical and mode of goodness, eye for an eye. Well, just mixture of stuff. See, but Jesus told or taught in more secret, the more of the mysteries, and revealed the mysteries of the parables. And that's what he told his disciples. He said, to you it's given, because they asked him, what does this parable mean? That he was preaching to the multitudes. And Jesus said, to you it's given to know these mysteries, but not to them. See? Because they had faith in Jesus. They followed Jesus. They loved Jesus. They believed in his word. They took shelter of his word. So it was given for them to know. Just like here, you're people here, the devotees here, you're learning mysteries that have not been discussed. They're purports here you hear. You may not realize now, but later. These purports have never been revealed to this extent. These things are so crystal clear. I mean, they're revealed in these books, but we get to discuss them and fluff them out, see, and give the commentary that reveals these very deep esoteric mysteries so that people can easily understand what the real path is. But if you don't follow the process, you can't do it. Because look at Johan and Madhusudan and Shamaguri and Christina are examples of that, because they don't have faith in Guru. They don't have faith that they have more faith in their understanding, which is false ego, which is apparent. They don't act like Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas don't act like that. They don't reject a real guru that has bhakti that they can see. Where's the Vaishnava in this? It's completely speculating. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, actually. Okay. I heard that a true faith is when a person firmly believes that they will not become better until they can become a devotee and serve the Lord. Something along those lines. So much agree. I've been saying it for a whole year now, that I won't be better, complete, until I get an ashram or a temple on a daily basis to be with other devotees. I am not satisfied with my living conditions because I am so far from a devotee. I feel so shy and put tilak and sari because I live in the hood of the West Philly. Oh, okay. And there ain't even an Indian community here, and I can get support from. But I'm rolling now on my own inspiration from my heart, where the Lord resides, in this bodily temple. Yeah. Okay, let me address this here. So Brandy Brahmajyoti, yes. Ah, yes. I remember you came a few times. Okay, let me address this. I'm going to share something with you. I heard that true faith is when a person firmly believes that they will not become better until they can become a devotee and serve the Lord. Something along those lines. I much agree. I've been saying it for a whole year that I won't be better complete until I can get into an ashram or a temple on a daily basis to be with other devotees. So you actually, well, see, this is the thing. You think that that's powerful enough to make you a real devotee. But most devotees now, 99.9% of them, it hasn't changed much really, since Bhaktivinoda Thakur, actually, it's probably gotten worse. Most Vaishnavas are neophytes. They're not really devotees yet. So you're asking to be changed by going into an ashram with a bunch of neophyte devotees, or what they call, I'm talking about a very clear view now, of the viewpoint, of the idea, okay? They're semblance of devotees. Real devotee has real devotion. They're actually intimate associates of the Lord. They have real love of God. That is not in ISKCON. That is not in any of those sanghas that I've been in. That's the beginners are there. This is where the advanced is. So if you think you're going to go there and you're going to become a real devotee, well, you're on the long path, and you won't become a real devotee yet because they're not devotees. This is devotional service in masses. This is for the masses. See, if you come into this association, you'll understand how to become a devotee, because everything I preach is more confidential, more true. See, so if you come here and do the 30-day or 60-day challenge and come here regularly, and you really want to know where the real path is, the Lord will reveal it to you if you're sincere, if you really want to know. You'll see this is so much different than that. If that plan that you're executing will take lifetimes to become a real devotee. You're just thinking you become, because that's an idea. I'm telling you, if you want to become a real devotee, if that's in your heart to become a real devotee, come here. We already have real devotees here. We'll teach you what are the symptoms of real devotees. What are their qualities? What are their qualifications? All these things they don't teach you in that association. So how are you going to become a real devotee there? They don't even know the qualities of a real devotee. We do, but I don't want any blind believers here either. You got to show that you have some greed, some spiritual greed for the truth to become a real devotee, and maybe put your opinion on hold first and come and listen to these opinions. See? This understanding. See? And then decide after 30, 60 days. But your whole life could change. In that 30, 60 days, you may never be the same again. You'll know, if you're really sincere in your heart, the Lord will reveal the truth of what's going on here. What's going on here is not going on anywhere else, in any sanghas, anywhere else that I've seen. But I'm just trying to encourage you, if you're really serious. Otherwise, you're just going to go to external devotees. It's called external bhakti. They'll teach you lots of rules and regulations of the ashram life, but you'll never know the essence of what you would learn here. You can ask the testimonies of people who've been here around. When they get the connected and they see what's going on here, they've been here 6, 7 years. They're not going anywhere for the rest of their lives. We're a family here. There's real devotees here with real bhakti, real devotion. And it's all by the book. It's all in here. So that's what I suggest, that you follow this course, which is a very rare opportunity, actually, and your whole life could change if you really want Krishna, if you really want to be a devotee of Krishna, the real Krishna, and quick, not many lifetimes, and then you got to come back. No, this lifetime, you'll see what real devotion is here. You'll see its symptoms, and you won't be bamboozled or bullshitted, because it's all in these books. That's what I'm commenting now on, the essence of the real path here. It's very simple, but it eludes people that don't make the right connection. Okay, so anyway, that's my idea. So you think about all these things and see. All right, so what else we got here? I need this explanation story. Yeah, the Acharya reveals the intimate details to his true blue friends. Yeah, exactly. We became down to atoms. Yeah, literally. This is a mathematical equations to you. Yeah, we cracked the code. Yeah, this is what I've been preaching. This is the same thing. This is how Acharyas analyze the situation. See? So, Brandy, is it Brandy? Brandy, yeah. Yeah, the essence, Brandy, is, and this is taught in the books. Hopefully you know this. The real path is you get a bona fide spiritual master, a real one. Most people don't have a bona fide spiritual master. But if you get a bona fide spiritual master and you follow the process they teach, which is not that hard actually, but you get highly purified and you abandon opinions that don't work because theirs works. And if you admit like, wow, actually I haven't found it. Actually, I don't have love of God. And see, you realize that you're impoverished. Without love of Krishna, you're a poor person. Everybody is. These gurus are poor if they don't have love of Krishna. That's the essence of the truth. See? But unless you follow the process, like Krishna told Arjuna, because you're my disciple and my devotee and my friend, you are qualified. See, naturally qualified to understand the transcendental mysteries of bhakti. There's no other way. It's personal. It's a personal relationship with Guru, Krishna, and real Vaishnavas. Real Guru, the real Krishna they present, and real Vaishnavas. To be Guru, a real Guru, you have to be transcendentally empowered. It's an impossible job. No one can do it. That's why they all fail. Nobody in Vaishnavism has distributed ecstatic devotion except in our Sangha. Nobody, I challenge, I tell people, well, come and show us that you're a recipient of the gift of your Guru, of ecstatic love. And all these Raganugas, nobody comes. Because they don't even know what it is. We're about probably 200, 300, 400 years ahead. If you want to jump 3 or 4 lifetimes ahead, this is the place to do it. Otherwise, you've got more lifetimes to figure this out because they ain't going to help you much. All neophytes. Okay. So which portion of Bhagavat do you want to hear? So this is the thing. You see, submissive inquiry is the real path. If you don't do that, there's no room for the word of a real devotee. Like Jesus said to people, most of them, he said, there's no room for my word in you. See, because if you accept the word given to you by a real devotee and they're telling you the confidential truth, that's God, and you will feel that word. That word will cause a birth in you. It's like the book of John, first chapter. Those who received Jesus, received his word, were born not of flesh and blood, but born of the word of God to become sons of God, or daughters, whatever you, son or daughter. The soul is neither in this world. That's what happens here. It works. We have the formula. People have attained love of God by this word here. Okay? Because it's true. It works. The real process is here, but not there. Not in any of the sanghas. Prabhupada didn't teach this confidential thing because he was getting people, he's dealing with a lot of neophytes. He had so many people. He had another mission, write the books, build the temples, get people on board to an extent. Okay? And those who are ready, we're sorting the fish out here, just like Jesus said. Those who capture a whole barrel of fish, see, Prabhupada caught a whole big barrel of fish all over the world. So many people captured. And we sort them out here. See? For those who are ready, to get this teaching. Not everybody's ready for this. You might be not ready. I don't know. We'll find out. But whoever is meant to be here, they'll be drawn here. Maybe you're only meant to just drop in and drop out. I don't know. You came before, I remember, and then You disappeared. Yeah, that happens sometimes, and sometimes it just takes time to build. Okay. Srinivas was pleased with the king's suggestion, and one of the king's readers brought the book to Srinivas. Srinivas recited very carefully and diligently the true mystery of the Bhagavad. See, the true mystery. See, remember, Bhaktivinoda said, generally the Acharya, like Srinivas, they understand the deep mystery of the Bhagavad, they keep it for themselves. But Srinivas said, this king's heart's been purified. He's even asking me to read him. He's already a devotee. In his dream, the king accepted him in his heart, said he was going to take refuge. See, that's a qualified person. That's why I say come 30, 60 days. If that happens to you, you're very fortunate, because then you'll be qualified automatically to understand this transcendental mystery. This is the formula. This is the mathematical equation. I'm telling you all. We're telling you. And that's why I repeat myself, because when it goes in, if you will just do that, and follow that, and you'll see if your heart changes like the king's heart changed by this association. It's possible. It may not. Maybe you'll be like a Johann. Who knows? But give yourself a chance. Give yourself a break, man. Do something really good for yourself, man. I'm telling you, the most valuable thing you can do in your whole life is to spend 30, 60 days here listening to things that haven't been spoken of for centuries, really, centuries. Mysteries are being revealed here. So, just like I believe in you because I know it's real and true. Nice rhymes, actually. I don't believe anything until the proof is in the pudding. I need to see and experience it for it to be real for me. And this is real and can change the hearts. Oh, yeah. So, hey, let's get some people up here. Come on, man. Amy, would you mind coming up here, and inspiring? We've got a new person here. You can really help. So if you feel like it. So I'm inviting you. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if we can get 2 times here. So I'm going to put the little link here. Let's see if Krishna empowers and inspires you. Say, darn it, I'm just going to do it. Let's see. I'm curious. I'm just curious. Let's find out. Okay. Anybody else can come too. And don't wait for the others to come first. Be the first. Yeah, come and share your testimony, man. Inspire some people. It's nice to write, but man, when they get it from the sound vibration, man, give us a testimony. Yeah, how about you, Amy? Give us a testimony, man. Let Krishna do it through you. Practice. Let's see. The Lost Gospels. Yeah. Alan Thomas says, are you a pure devotee? Hare Krishna, are you a pure devotee? Am I a pure devotee? Well, let's put it this way. You decide. You just come here regularly and you decide. And because, you see, if I tell you, there should be naturally some doubt. See, because, it's all in front of your face, whether I am or not. And if you're understanding the teaching here, which you keep coming to, you understand the qualities of a pure devotee. I teach them all the time. The empowered pure devotee, I'm teaching you what all the symptoms are and everything. So if you listen, take the time, you'll know. But if I just tell you, oh, yes, I am, or I'm not, or what, well, I say, yes, I am, you should be very doubtful because you don't know what the qualities are, obviously, otherwise you would know. I teach about this all the time. For years, for 25 years, I've been preaching that. What are the qualities of a real devotee? Is a pure devotee, real devotee. Real devotee has the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. They have ecstatic love of God. They relish transcendental mellows. See, all these things you can learn here. But you got to come and listen for 30, 60 days. Otherwise, what is it to me tell you I am or I'm not, or, what is this? Come on. Come here and figure it out yourself by knowledge, getting the knowledge here. Otherwise, I don't want to, a person comes here, and I don't know if this is you, but anybody, if they come here and say, are you a pure devotee? And I could say yes, and they would say, oh, I don't believe it. It's only Prabhupada's the only one. Why should that person even know? Why should I even say to the person that doesn't come here regularly? They don't deserve to know. Because you got to follow the process to know. I teach the process. Try 30, 60 days if you want to know such a thing. Because nobody else here that can teach you. Charya Dev can't teach you. And you'll know in 30, 60 days if you sincerely want to know and go through the purification. See? None of these gurus can tell you. Why? Because I'll tell you, they're not. And I've been teaching why they're not. But if you want to know these things, you have to come and follow the process. Let's see all to come. Ooh, she's doing it again. All right. Hi there, Amy. What do you think about all this stuff? This guy says it's Gohari, a pure devotee, and all that stuff, man. I can't answer these things. What do you think? How should he find out? Oh, you're muted, I think.
Huh. All right. Well, if anybody ever asked me, is Gohari a pure devotee? Like I always say, we're literally doing a science experiment here, and the proof is in the pudding. You want to know if he's a pure devotee? We'll do our 30-day challenge, In fact, anybody who's ever done the 30-day challenge will stay an extra 30 days, 60 days, 3 years. I'm 3 years into this because I did like a week challenge. I was hook, line, and sinkered, So, I mean, if anybody wanted to dispute this, all you have to do is do the challenge, right? We've offered up a challenge, and people love challenges. I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube videos or stuff. People really do love a little challenge. And a lot of people are into all of this. They really are. I mean, I just heard Brandy speaking that she also feels like, oh, there isn't a community for me, that, there's no Indian community. It's exactly what we talk about. You don't really need that. You don't need to go and put on, she said, I'm afraid to, I'm too embarrassed to wear a tilak. I believe she wrote that in one of the comments. Oh. Well, perfect. I said, you've come to the right place, because we don't need to do those things. Like we've transcended that, basically. It's like you always say, we're going to transcend all of this, and we have, through your preaching and through the way that you've directed this, which is a very forward way. It's very forward. It's very revolutionary, it is. And a lot of people get a little shocked by it. I mean, there is a shock value to some of the things that, we do here. Sorry, let me just fix my screen here. Yeah. But it works, and that's really the main point. So that's our whole point, is that it works. So if you're looking for this, if you're looking to transcend these material modes, and you're looking to raise your vibration into something higher, which I know we're all looking to do that, whether you know it or not. Even people who don't know they want to do that, they want to do that. Everybody wants to be a little, right, higher and happier. Well, here's the place. Like we have the ticket. And like I said in my comment, it's free of charge. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to turn this light off. I think that will help. Oh, yeah, much better. Okay, maybe. Yeah, that worked, I think.
Yeah. So you see, you have some come. Do the 30 days. We are a family. That's the thing, See, you're looking for a devotional community, but we are a devotional community. And
Here you
maybe,
go. It's right here.
yeah, I think somebody, some people say they're a little bit different, as a devotee. And it's hard to fit in because people, they think, well, that's not a devotee. You're like this and you're like that. And, I just look, is a person really want God? Do they like being with these people here? Do you like the friendships you make here?
And the things you learn and what you learn
Yeah.
here, which, I mean, we learn a lot. I mean, I'm 3 years into this and I have learned a great deal. I didn't even know any of these words. I used to call it, all this flowery language that you're using, this, like, I don't know these words. Like, I would have to literally Google all these words, like everything you would say, like even down to bhakti, like different. So I started this out really from a very amateur spot. I mean, I had spirituality and I felt very spiritual in my own right, but like I didn't know anything about Vaishnavism and anything about this like community. So I used to have to Google
Yeah.
everything, and I would Google it relentlessly, and everything seemed like every time I would think like, oh, what is he saying? Like this is really important. It would always be like kind of the same kind of word. Like it would be about devotion or something, it all
Yeah.
seemed
Yeah.
like it was easy to put together
Yeah.
as a puzzle.
Yeah, it shows, if you have a desire to know, it doesn't matter whatever your background is, you can, look at Lolita. She didn't even know English. Then we have Jan, who doesn't know English and can't hear. He's deaf.
Ah, and look at this. Look at the. I know, Lolita not knowing English. I mean, I can't believe how far this woman. She's an
Yeah,
intelligent. That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
very intelligent woman right there. I could never have done that. Like
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I suppose she
you
was
only know
serious
one
like
language.
you. She was, like she was looking
Googling.
up all the words, try to understand and all that too, and see that shows a sincere desire, really, really
That's what it
kind of
is.
grabs you this stuff.
Yeah, because we wanted to know what you were saying. That's what it is. Like
Yeah,
because you're talking all this stuff and we're so attracted to you. So we like for me, it was like, I mean, luckily for me, like I speak the same language as you, and a lot of the
yeah,
euphemisms and expressions you use, like I do understand because you talk a lot the way my mom talks. We're from the same kind of
yeah,
type,
yeah,
But I would have to all this flowery like Bhagavad Gita language. I had to Google all of that stuff and really just try to figure out what you were saying because you would use a lot of the same words over and over. But I can't imagine. I mean, Lolita trying to learn that must have been rather difficult.
yeah, yeah, tough.
But that's
Yeah, but
that's why we do it because we were so attracted that we want to know what you're talking about. Like, I always say we hang on every word you say, literally, and all the devotees are feeling this way, hanging on literally every word you're saying, and to the point where we just want to know, we want to feel this like this intimate connection. And you talk about rasas. I know this is a little bit of a I knew I was going to say something strange, but you
that's
talk
okay.
about the
I like
different
it.
rasas, and
Strange is great.
the conjugal rasa is what that means. I mean, I know people take it into a sexual way. It doesn't have to be. It really just means like the highest intimacy that you can feel, right? Like and that's what we're looking for with God, is that the highest intimacy that like one could, right? Isn't that what anybody would go
Yeah,
for? And I feel
yeah,
like that sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
like happens with you. Like you introduce such a concept, but in a very easy way that we can understand, like layman's terms, and slowly, and
Yeah.
in a simple way that we can grasp onto it, though, so it's not like being thrown at us like
Yeah.
a ton of bricks or something. But I really do feel like that's what a lot of your preaching um, is instructing Guru Tattva and understanding that the highest rasa that really exists within this, right? This teaching. Am I wrong? Or I don't know. You correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's not coming through that good right now, but I think I got what you're saying.
oh,
Yeah, you see the
is there a
highest
delay?
Ross. Can you can you hear me or well let's see what's going on here.
Oh no.
Let's see. Maybe it's my phone. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got a good connection. It should be good. Could be your connection.
Is it? I don't
Here,
know.
yeah, yeah. You know what?
There's a delay.
Um, let me. Yeah, it's just a little delay. Sometimes, yeah, just okay. Okay. It's back. I think it's just going to be like that. I see you now. Everything's good now. Yeah. Okay. I'll just. I think I know what you're saying. See, the thing is, the rasa, transcendental rasa, is not enacted with the material body per se. I mean, we use the material senses like it's external senses, like we're chanting, and the spiritual senses, they awaken here when you follow the process. That's the whole thing. You follow the process, associate with devotees, get purified, your transcendental senses begin to awaken, and then that is where you're tasting on the level of spirit, not material. See, and the spirit senses are very pure, and they get purified in this communion with God. See, and that's what people see. That's why there's all this bliss and ecstasies. And it's from this communion of the soul with the divine Lord, the divine Lord. It's like we're talking about that word divine. Yeah. That divine rod, that they look for water. See, if that person didn't have that rod, they don't find the water. See, that's the spiritual senses awaken. The pure devotee divines that water of God, that spiritual Lord's potency. See, they find it. See, and they bring it through like a diviner for the water. They say, okay, water's healed. Drill here, drill here, drill here. See, yeah. And so that's what we're doing. They're saying, yeah, drill here. This is how you do it. This is how these things are ascertained by association, all this. This is our drilling. You're drilling for the why. I'm saying you believe this word. You know how people they don't a lot of I don't believe that's all hocus pocus and stuff like they don't believe. But some people believe, if it's really true, he's a real diviner. You kind of do that on a spirit level. I'm here. I say, I found water, man. I found the water of life, like Jesus found the water of life. Yeah, and yeah, drill here, drill here. That's the conclusions, the truths, everything, that you get. So the diviner has to go and get drill first, to get that water. And then they give it to you. But if you say, I don't believe in you, Gohar, you're not a real devotee. That's hocus pocus stuff. And look at you. You
Oh,
don't even look like a devotee. I'm going to Acharya Day,
yeah, yeah. Is there still a delay or no? Is it working?
a little sort of working. Yeah. Yeah. Just keep going. It'll work itself.
I was just gonna say it's like when the miner finds gold in California, he finds the gold, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden everybody else rushes out like
Yeah.
they want he
Yeah.
found the spot,
Yeah. Yeah.
that there's gold here,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it's just like this, like, I mean, we have the golden ticket. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna.
No,
I
no, no, no.
won't be able to
My
keep up with
battery's going low. Yeah, yeah.
that.
Let me
Oh,
hook my battery up. Yeah, no, that's a good analogy. The gold thing. Now the difference is, see, everybody. You say you found gold, right? Material gold. Everybody's going to be out there. But when you find spiritual gold, nobody wants it. Practically. Look how many people. I'm telling everybody. Hey, this was the story. This is why Krishna in my heart cries because yeah, the treasure is this and this. What a beautiful verse and everything. Beautiful verse is what the real treasure is. This is all saying, but nobody, even in Vaishnavism, they're not seeing this as gold. Here we're giving these treasure purports and everything that people haven't
I
spoken of
disagree.
in years. Huh? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that people do want this. I think they just don't know that they want it. Like, they want it. Everybody wants this. Like, believe me. Like, I know because
Okay.
everybody wants this. They don't have an ability to conceptualize that they want it. And that's
Uh-huh.
why we have Guru Hari Das, who comes in as the greatest showman on earth, and
Uh-huh.
puts on the greatest show on earth, and gets everybody entertained, and then we know we want this, like everybody
Yeah.
wants this, like I
Yeah.
know this, I feel this in my heart of hearts, like
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
that it's not that nobody wants it, it's that they can't like always conceptualize it because they're too
Uh,
involved with, they're a little distracted with other things, and but
mhm,
once they like, that's why we talk about the 30-day challenge, and that's why we talk about this scientific experiment. Sit here,
mhm,
listen to us, get involved in this group. All of a sudden,
mhm,
yeah, you're not going to want to turn away from this. Look at the people that we already have, like who are become hook, line, sinkered, and can't live with, basically cannot live without this. I mean,
mhm,
and it happens time and time again. I've seen a
mhm,
lot of people come and go too, but they're just, unfortunately, okay, you walked away. I understand why that happens, but they were hooked and they were in it.
mhm.
No, nobody who does the 30-day challenge walks doesn't feel moved by it. So
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say?
The
Like,
only.
you think
Yeah.
people don't
The
want it, they want it.
well. Yeah. Well. See, the thing is, they're confused in this world. This is the problem. See, they think wealth is something different than what it really is. They think wealth is to be important. They think wealth is, and so like people, they're going at, they have plans. Okay, this is the wealth, this is what I want. And a lot, what they really want is this relationship with God, but they don't know that. See, it's like Dhruva Maharaj, the story of Dhruva Maharaj. He thought he wanted a kingdom bigger than his father's. He wanted a bigger kingdom. So he did austerities actually and chanted mantras with motive for the material kingdom. But anyway, the Lord appeared to him and he realized, oh, you were what I wanted, because his relationship with the Lord awakened. And he realized, wow, you're the one. I was confused. I thought I wanted to be important, but you're important. This relationship is the most important, not me being a big king and being in charge and all that stuff. No, it's being in relationship with you. That's the most important thing for everybody. But who we don't know. Not everybody's ready to know that right away. But those who come, those who are called to come, that's why we have a few, that come, and they want to know that they're ready to, because you got to get purified. A lot of people, their desire is so strong for these other things that they're not. There's no room for this, yet. I don't want to listen to you. I don't believe. I don't care about that. I want this. This is true. I don't believe. You never see people. They so convinced. There's no room to, like to get them to do anything like that. They just immediately dismiss this. You're wrong. I'm right. That kind of thing.
And
So,
those are the people that are absolutely ridiculous. Like I can't, I don't have a tolerance for those kind of people who just throw this away, and they're very like judgmental. It's like you're involved in this type of community, yet you throw this. Are we still delayed? Is that what's happening?
no, 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 no. I'm just
No.
looking at the questions
Oh,
too.
okay.
Don't just keep going. I'm with you.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't.
No.
There's a lot of people who do that and throw it away, and I feel like I don't want to use the word old school type like belief system, but I think that there's a lot of people now, younger people, who are very interested in this. Like, and I think times are really changing. I'm a big believer in that times are changing, and like I have faith like that things are going to, that are adapting like to spirituality,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
back in the day, this wasn't a popular opinion, basically.
Yeah.
Things are more focused
Sure.
on, let's make some money, let's have kids, buy a house, let's, like do this very material life. And
Yeah.
I just think that that's going out the window. Like I noticed that, because being an observer, and I have a pattern recognition. So like I just see the way things are going, like, and
Yeah.
especially with the young people, like they're being a little bit more open-minded, I guess I would
Yeah.
call it. And I just think that this message is gonna resonate with younger people who are looking for God. A lot of them go for Jesus. I mean, in America,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
that's the first thing you're gonna go for is Jesus and
Yeah.
Christianity, because it's the most available thing. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of pushing like for that, which is
Yeah.
great, and that opens up a door, but then they
Mhm.
hear this and they're going to see this like really cool guy who's like talking all these amazing like words. Like if I just feel like anybody who like really started listening to you and like did the challenge would get hooked onto it, because
Yeah.
if you're interested, if you're into God and you wanted to find that relationship. If you
Yeah.
don't, then I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but there's a lot of people
Well,
I think right now who are looking for this relationship.
it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, especially now because they're, every, it's getting real tyrannical and real kind of crazy. It's like
Yeah.
these demons want us to accept lies, and it's becoming apparent. It's like, what the hell's
Yeah.
going on here? Why are you doing
Scary.
this? Yeah, it's like I look at the government, and the government is always trying to make people unhappy now. They don't serve the people. I mean, they're just blatantly like, hey, we just want to tax you and take all your money, and we don't want to give you anything back. We're going to send it all to do wars, and make that Zelensky wealthy. The guy has all these mansions, and they're right in front of our faces, man. And we can't really do anything because they're in charge, and they got
Exactly.
all the guns, they got
I
all
know.
the energy, all this stuff.
I
We
don't even
can't
want
do
to talk
anything.
about it, to be quite honest. I'm
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is
a little afraid to talk
I
about
mean,
it,
it's
to be quite honest.
almost like that's why people are changing, because they see, wow, we had faith in the governments and the doctors and everything, but they're all in cahoots to do us harm, and that's the way the Lord has done it.
And the
Yeah.
younger generation, because of this change in society, I mean, after a lot of stuff, we can talk about this because this did happen, this pandemic, and
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
crazy phenomenon, and like a cultural phenomenon, that where they locked the entire world into their houses for an entire year. I mean, when in history has this ever happened? um the younger generation is very open to this new idea. They do not have faith in the hierarchy, the elites, and I know the older generation did. It's an old thing, but like it's not happening anymore. I mean, things have really changed, and that's why I think
Yeah.
this message is more important than ever, like this mission, because now is the time that, it's so funny that in 2018, it was this a couple years before the pandemic hit, I had this like epiphany, and like I don't know why. Like I was like just shot. I think it was 2017 or 2018. I can never remember. But I had this epiphany. And I'm not going to go into like detail about the epiphany, but one of the things that came from it was that we have to like tell the younger generation like this meant like that they're all lying to you. Like everybody out there, like has been lying to you. Like all of
Mhm.
this is false, and they're everything you're learning in school, this is all bullshit basically. Like the
Yeah.
whole friggin' thing is bullshit. And I wanted
Yeah.
to, I had this urge that I needed to like somehow do the telephone game. You whisper it to one friend and then they whisper to the
Yeah.
other friend, like, we're gonna telephone game this, like, like tell your friend that like they're all lying to you. Like this is all
Yeah.
um fucking bullshit. And this was even before the pandemic hit. So like I already had this intuition, I guess you would call it that. But I believe that here we are. What is that? 6 years later, 6 or 7 years later, and it's happening. Like this telephone message somehow did has been sent, and they're realizing this. Like, look, well, they didn't need my telephone message because look at the state of affairs that we live. Like all they had to do is turn on the TV and see the
Yeah.
mockery of it all, like the three-ring
Yeah.
circus of it all. To say like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, maybe we shouldn't go into like too much of a
Well, it's just
uh,
the thing is that is
discussion.
what's turning people. In essence,
It's turning
it's
people.
turning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people realize that we're naturally looking for shelter. We're
Mhm.
looking for certainty and shelter, and people are thought, well, I thought I could get it with like the usual governments or even religion. You're seeing religion breaking down. You see,
Or
ISKCON is
some type of authority. We're looking for
yeah,
some type of authority.
yeah.
Somebody,
What's our
some
nature?
leader.
Yeah,
Somebody to tell us what to do, basically,
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what I love
Oh,
about you. Finally, I got
yeah.
somebody who's smart enough to tell me what the hell
Yeah.
is going
Yeah,
on
but
here.
it's not. Yeah, but it's not an unintelligent thing. I'm telling you what's actually in the Vedas that works. We need instruction. See, we need the right opinion. We need God's opinion. And so that's why a devotee has to follow God's opinion. That's why at the witnesses here, I did this in another life with a Vaishnava, obviously. You guys are getting it in this life from Guru, and that's what you have to show the world is, yeah, this is the formula. This is the way it worked. It worked for me. You got to be the driller, first drillers. And
There
then
you
you
go.
you help you. Yeah. And then they look at you as a role model. I say, oh, wow, you got a guru and it works like this. Yeah, yeah, you got, so that's how it works. Hey, I have a kind of an issue is electricity. And if I keep going now, I won't have enough to broadcast in the morning
Oh,
because I'm
okay.
working off a
So
battery.
you
So I
wanna
better,
cut it.
I better
Yeah.
wind it up now. But tomorrow we'll continue this. Tomorrow,
Okay.
if you're around, or whenever you come. So yeah, do
Yeah,
this. Get comfortable with this. This is people want.
I
They're
want to.
inspired. Yeah,
It
yeah,
has done a lot honestly, coming on the live, I mean, I just
yeah,
want before
yeah,
we
yeah,
end, has done a
yeah,
lot for me. Like, I soared
yeah,
all day.
yeah,
Honestly, like, I can't
yeah,
even tell enough people that just coming on this live and
yeah,
engaging in this kind of closer, vibration
yeah.
really did a lot for me, and I couldn't say it if I didn't experience it. It's another one of
Yeah.
those things that
Yeah, that's
you
why I
can hear.
wanted to put your message on there
Yeah.
so people can
Oh,
listen and get it. Yeah, that's see
yeah, my
because
feedback,
you
the
know,
feedback.
yeah, your feedback because yeah, people need to hear that. They don't, help inspire them.
Mhm.
So that's why you always got to do it. See, you always got to break the ice to help people. Once you get the instrument, then you help others, and then others will do it, and then they'll help others. You
You're
know,
right.
it goes on like that.
It's better than saving the whales, right? We're
Yeah,
doing more
better
than
than
just.
this is yeah. Yeah. So
Alright,
anyway, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll just save a little electricity. I got to save, and I got to
okay.
store some when I got some sun left. And
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. All right. So see you guys
Okay.
tomorrow. Thanks, Amy, for coming. That's great. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so
Man.
much. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.